There we go. My lovely co-host has remembered to press record for me. Thank you very much.
Uber efficient Elena. Oh, there's just no getting anything past you, is there, Elena?
No, exactly. I appreciate it. Welcome everybody to my partner update webinar. Probably noticed that I've got a couple of special guests here with me today. So I've got Paul and Elena from 3CX here with me today.
Hello,
guys.
And oh, sorry. What we're going to do is just go through a bit of an update on some new features within 3CX. And I am just trying to get to grips with why my notes aren't coming up. So just give me one moment.
Live demos. Don't you just hate them? Never do live demos.
No.
Always record them. Always record.
Never work with animals or small children. Won't be one moment. There we go. So, oh, why won't you stay on my screen?
Well, look on the bright side, Rebecca. It's giving people a few more minutes to join us.
Yeah,
Every cloud has a silver lining.
Do you two want to just introduce yourselves and who you are and what you do within 3CX, and I will try and sort myself out.
Okay, we can buy you some time. Good morning, guys. Paul Clark. I am the General Manager for the United Kingdom and Ireland for 3CX. Potted history. I have been here, very potted history actually. I've been with 3CX, what, 13 years or so. So I have seen an inordinate number of changes, and you will see from the grey in my beard, that was jet black 13 years ago. And I am more than ably assisted here by the uber efficient, as has already been proven. Elena, a few words.
Thank you very much. My name is Elena Fideseva. I'm a channel manager, a co-pilot for Paul Clark. I'm here in 3CX for the last 5 years, and with Paul, I help to realize full potential of our partners across the UK and Ireland channel. And yes, we are here today to help you know more about our AI features. Our recently released update 8 with all amazing opportunities in it. And that sounds like a nice start. Rebecca, are you ready?
Yes, lovely. Thanks so much for that. Really appreciate it. So good morning, everyone. So thanks for joining us. My name is Rebecca Penman, and I'm the Partner Account Manager at Infinitel. And today we're going to focus on the opportunity around enterprise licensing and how partners can position it more effectively into 2026. Obviously, we're also joined by 3CX, so thanks guys for joining us. And this gives us a great opportunity to look at both the commercial direction of the product and also more of the kind of product overview and direction. The aim of today is to make you feel a bit more confident when positioning enterprise, both with existing customers and for new opportunities as well, and to show how we can support you to do that. So, bit of an agenda for today. So I'll just go over what we're going to cover. So we're going to go through a bit of a partner update from Infinitel. and the direction of the market. And then we'll move into the enterprise opportunity from a commercial perspective. And we'll look at how to position enterprise for existing customers and in new opportunities as well. And then we'll go through a bit of a deeper dive with the guys from 3CX and go through a bit of a live demo as well. Excellent. So I just want to start by sharing a bit about what we're seeing across our partner base at the moment. So there's definitely been a shift in the types of conversation that partners are having with their end users. We're seeing a lot more questions around AI and call intelligence coming up. And it's coming up much earlier in the discussion as well, rather than being an afterthought. And quite often what end user customers are sort of saying is like, what can you do with AI? So they're not even necessarily quite sure what they're trying to do with that. They just know that they should be asking that question as part of the conversation. At the same time, deals are becoming more value driven. So less about cost and more about what benefit you're actually bringing to the end user. And that solution and what it can actually deliver for customers. That said, the competition at the lower end of the market is increasing, which is putting a lot of pressure on margins. And that's where, when you are in that situation, adding the value and giving some differentiation can really matter. The partners who lead with stronger value messaging are the ones that are protecting their margin and having better quality conversations with their end users. And that's why really we're focusing on the enterprise AI license in 2026 and how it ties into all of that. AI-led communications are moving from something which is an optional add-on to something that customers are really starting to expect as standard. Enterprise also helps to shift the conversation away from just telephony and more towards business insight and how you can add value with a telephony proposition that can help their business goals overall. It creates a really clear and structured upgrade opportunity as well for partners that you might have that are on, say, the Pro license at the moment. And it means that you can kind of grow the opportunity within your partner base rather than always needing to really focus on new business. And importantly, it positions you as more of a strategic partner. So if you're going into the conversation leading on value and what benefit that you can add to that customer's business, that means that the conversations are a lot stronger than if it's just, I can save you money on your telephony proposition. And it takes it away from that kind of transactional relationship. So building on that, that's why our focus is really sitting there this year. So our focus at Infinitel is to help our partners increase revenue per customer. It's not just about bringing in new business, it's about getting more value from the customer base that you already have and identifying where enterprise can sit within that base. And also it's supporting our partners to have more commercially led conversations around value rather than price. And as I've kind of touched on, competing on price alone is going to put you in a difficult position, because if you're leading with that, then the conversation from your customer is always naturally going to go down to pounds, shillings and pence, and it becomes more difficult to have that kind of more nuanced conversation. My third piece is around enablement. So I want to make sure that you feel confident in positioning enterprise, whether that's understanding where it fits, how to talk about it, and how to introduce it into the conversation naturally. And that's really where we want to focus our time and support this year. So with that in mind, let's look a bit more closely around what the enterprise opportunity actually looks like in practice. So when we look at the enterprise opportunity in practice, it kind of comes down to two areas. You've got your net new customers that you're looking to win, and the existing base of customers that you already have. So with new customers, rather than starting from leading with Pro and then trying to kind of upsell enterprise, what we're seeing a big area for is people leading with enterprise from the outset. So, you know, if you start with the enterprise license, you can always go, if they say, no, I really don't need any of those features, I just want a basic phone system, then you've always got the Pro to fall back on. And it's about setting that conversation at the right level from the beginning. So that changes the dynamic of the conversation, and it becomes around the value, the capability of you to deliver that for your customers, rather than immediately focusing on cost. The result of this is that you'll typically see a higher average deal value from day one. Then if we look at the existing customers you already have, this is where a lot of the opportunity really sits. Because your current base, you know, they're already engaged, they're already buying things from you. So it's kind of the biggest opportunity that you have. And enterprise can give you a structured upgrade path within that base. It's not a forced upsell, it's a natural progression on how customers are wanting to use the platform. And if you do get competitors coming in at renewal time, offering different systems, it will mean that you're in that conversation, rather than what we've seen happen with some partners in the past is that they've, say, lost out on an opportunity to a new competitor coming in, where 3CX actually had the capability to already do a lot of the things that the new provider could do. It's just that the partner hadn't realized that that's what the customer was looking for. So if you're leading with these upgrades, you're kind of naturally helping that conversation. And the result for the end of it is the increased revenue per customer without the need to go out and win a load of new logos. So what this means for our partners. So what this really means for our partners is a couple of key things. Firstly, it's around revenue growth without the need to increase headcount. You're getting more value from the customers that you already have, rather than relying purely on new business. It also supports your customer retention. So as I mentioned, you know, you're not on the back foot. If a competitor comes in, you've led with those new features and benefits that they can get from the system. And it opens the door to more strategic conversations as well. It becomes a conversation not just around telephony, but about business insight from performance and how you can support that customer in their business goals. And finally, it gives you much clearer differentiation in competitive situations as well. So if you're leading with the enterprise and value, you're in a much stronger position than competing purely on price. So that is kind of it from me. So I will hand over to Paul and Elena, who are going to go through the update and what that means for you in practice.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca. Now that we covered the partner opportunity, let's look at what actually enables this opportunity from the technological side, from the technology we offer at 3CX. And on this slide, you'll see all new additions in update 8. I'll give you a few moments to take a look at this slide. Please post and chat if you already managed to test these features. using your test license or NFR. We're glad to know your feedback if you already have anything to say.
Whilst they're ingesting that, for those of you unfamiliar with 3CX web meeting, Teams is ubiquitous, and we are a pariah, it would appear. There is a chat bubble at the bottom. Who here has sort of engaged with their customer, whether it's customer initiated or you've initiated it around AI? Cool.
Yeah, Tiago, thank you very much.
Excellent.
Steve, thank you. Excellent. Paul, I see you'd like to share your feedback as well. Excellent. Well, it's very good to know that you already managed to have some experience around AI and our offering. For many of our partners, update aids can become either a cool feature, another one cool feature hidden somewhere in our V20 admin console, or it can become a completely new managed service revenue stream. Unfortunately, most partners accidentally choose the first one, but our goal today is to help you choose the second. Yeah? And we'll start from the most exciting part is 3CX AI agent. Isn't it, Paul? What's your favorite agent from 2 released already? Tell us.
Well, my favorite agent has to be sitting on your PBX because it bears my name. My
Oh, yes.
personal assistant was until very recently Jennifer Aniston, but after some threatening letters from her legal team, I've had to change it. So I've now got the darts aficionado Luke Littler. It's very, very impressive what it can do. And we're sort of going through the slide here. You do need an OpenAI account. Now, if you have 2 ways of doing this, either the customer has the OpenAI account and they are responsible for the costs, or you create an OpenAI account, and then you can create projects for your customers. So a separate project per customer just makes billing a lot easier. Now, you've got your OpenAI account set up. You've got your API key. And for those of you that haven't had a look at it, I would advocate please do so, because it took me 15 minutes to set it up. And I am probably about as much of a Luddite when it comes to technology as is humanly possible. I still use a pen and paper to make notes. So if I can do it, it can be done. It is very simple. As it says there, sorry, Elena, I've sort of rambled off now on a presentation.
It's excellent, Paul.
There are currently 2 agents available in the PBX, receptionist and personal assistant. The differentiator is personal assistant is one-to-one. And I think the ice cream man's turned up.
It is.
Can somebody mute? Well, who's that? Because there's not that many people that haven't got their phones unmuted, microphones unmuted. Excellent. So my ice cream man has gone, and we will continue. So the difference between the receptionist and the personal assistant is the personal assistant can be a human being, doesn't necessarily need to be AI. So boss secretary working, and is pretty much one-to-one. I forgot the word last time I went through this, but it's scrawled on my desk in front of me, gatekeeper. So it will shield an individual in the organization from unwanted calls. And there are various parameters in there that you can configure just to mark them as spam calls and sort of send them off somewhere else. The receptionist is exactly that. It will field inbound calls into the organization and distribute them accordingly. So one of the benefits, as Elena has highlighted at the bottom of this slide, never takes annual leave, never gets sick, never argues about rota changes, and HR love them because they are always there and they are always working. Welcome to my world. They are polyglots. They will speak 50 languages. They have the sort of top 50 languages spoken there natively, and there is live language switching. So you can start talking in your mother tongue, may not be English, and then you can switch to another language and it will follow you. It will understand the conversation and it will change language accordingly. Now, in addition to that, one of the key features is the knowledge base. You can upload a knowledge base to your agent, be that receptionist, be that PA. Now, if you have an organization that specializes in multiple products, you can put a knowledge base for each of the products and the agent will learn that. And if you ring in and ask about any particular products, it has the information that you give it, and you can upload that information in a variety of formats. Okay. There is a custom prompt built in to the PBX natively. However, if you understand it, you can go in and tailor it so that the prompt is specific for your customer. Now, that is great news for you guys because it's a revenue stream. It's billable time. You have to go in there. And again, if you can understand the text in the prompt, then fine, you customize it, keep it as a copy, give it to another customer, tweak it, and bill them. And you're billing them for time and not technically even spending customizing the prompt. And as I already alluded to at the bottom, spam call detection. If you've got a receptionist, you've got a personal assistant, and it can filter the calls you do not want your organization or your individual, if you are a personal assistant, to take. That was a very long answer to your question, Elena. Sorry.
Yeah. Actually, I do remember, Bo, you have this story about languages, right? That there are some languages which not everyone expects.
Yeah, I was doing a demo to a potential customer with a partner, and the lady concerned asked me if it spoke Tamil. So I had to quickly scroll through all of the languages that were in there. And if there's anybody out there that speaks Tamil, by the way, yes, it does. It is a very diverse cross-section of languages in there.
Yeah, it's excellent stories. And I think as well, it will be nice to let our partners today know what really differentiates our AI technology built in 3CX among other solutions. It's how intelligently our AI agents handle calls. And I think the sign in this slide is inspired by PA of Paul Clark, Luke Littler, that our AI agent doesn't throw calls in the darkness, yet he knows the call routing, which you as a partner as MSP built in the PBX. So he will transfer call only to available user. Yep. So it will detect abusive or uncooperative callers as well. And you can define what to do with such calls. Yep. So there are, of course, available settings in the PBX. Agent can as well search team members by name. It will, of course, identify a caller if the call, the contact is saved in CRM as well, just very big plus. And in addition to it, it's respect confidentiality rules. Yes, so we will talk a bit later about two types of our agents. One of them, will behave as a VIP, what is called, Paul? Router, right?
Sorry?
Firewall, like a VIP firewall.
Yeah, a
Yes.
gatekeeper. Yeah.
Exactly. What is, in my opinion, what is really important in our technology is how quickly our partners can set it up. It's just a couple of minutes. Yeah, so if you're already savvy, you see the guidelines available in the PBX. It just takes a couple of minutes to add your 3CX API, OpenAI key in 3CX, and you are ready to go. Of course, if you need to customize your agent to a certain type of AI behavior, this will take some time. But what we already offer in build can operate in a couple of minutes. For me as well as for Paul, it took about 15 minutes to set up. And my first agent, as Paul mentioned initially, was named Paul Clark, because he is knowledgeable and knows everything about 3CX. Yes, and I uploaded 3CX knowledge base. So if you're interested, after the webinar, we will share our contacts. We can share with you our test numbers, the IDs, and even chat link. Yes, it can operate as a chat. Yeah, not chatbot, but as an AI agent in chat. Yeah, share different things, more powerful. We can talk about this later on. So we'll continue this engagement, and after the webinar, to help you evaluate and to test how the AI agent work in 3CX. And I think the next one slide related to more detailed information on the 2 currently available agents. The first is boss secretary, and it's really interesting feature because it's actually, as mentioned, works as a VIP firewall for calls. Yeah, so it allows a boss, just typically the manager or executive, to have every call screened, but it can handle by a human assistant or an AI agent. Yeah. So now we will talk about AI agent and what it can do exactly. So in the system, AI agent, boss secretary, can check the boss's personal directory. Yep. I can imagine here that you probably can sell this feature already to all your existing customers. Yeah, you probably know all their contacts, and they will be really impressed. Yeah, of course, not only the C level customers, right? But as well the secretaries of these customers, because they will have less work to do, yeah, and more time to build, create, and or have coffee, for example, right? Again, continue on features. This post secretary AI agent can allow selected callers to bypass the secretary. It can respect office hours and holidays, and it can be switched on or off instantly from the app. It works across all apps of 3CX. Yeah. So the logic is very, very simple. If it's spam calls, they're blocked. If it's important VIP client, red carpet. And the next one we'll discuss 3CX transcription engine. And I don't know, Paul, that you do like to talk about the key capability on call transcription and analysis, isn't it? I think it's really your favorite topic.
No, well, call transcription. And for those of you not familiar with it, I will show you what you actually get in the call transcription when we get round to the demo part, and it's actually part of a real call. I don't think there's any breach of GDPR, and I'm waiting for a look of horror on Rebecca's face, because Rebecca and I spoke yesterday. So I've snipped parts. Well, I haven't snipped parts of the call. I've sort of, you don't want the whole transcription for a 10-minute call. So I've taken the sort of the raw data, and you will see what it's like. But for it is multifaceted, because from a management perspective, it gives you the ability to ascertain how effective your agents are, because there is sentiment analysis in the transcription engine. So it will mark the parameters that are predetermined or predefined in the PBX are 1 to 5, and the parameters in there have got certain words upon which it marks myself, Eleanor, everybody else in 3CX on how how empathetic we are, how understanding we are, how knowledgeable we are, which is probably why I always scrape round the 1s and 2s, and Eleanor's up there in the 4s and 5s. And I think that speaks
only
volumes.
for voicemail.
Yeah, I don't know how you can get a 2 for talking to a voicemail, but there you go, I do. So a manager can then pull a report and then export that and look for agents that are constantly getting the lower end of the mark. So it may be there's a training issue, there could be sort of a myriad of reasons for it. It may just be that they are a square peg in a round hole and need to go and be a round hole in a round peg somewhere else. So a very powerful tool from a management perspective, but from an overall perspective, when you get the transcription, you, as I say, you will see it. It will make hopefully more sense then, but you get the salient details about the call. With 3CX, you get call diarization. So it will actually show you in the call who is saying what at what part of the call. Now, so you have a summary, you have the sentiment analysis, you have the transcription of the call. More importantly, you can then take that and dump it straight into your CRM. So if there are ever any disputes, you don't need to go rummaging around trying to find call recordings, because there is a link in the transcription for the call recording. So you go to the customer's CRM record, you find the appropriate call, and everything you need is there. You have a summary of the call, and okay, the summary may be slightly ambiguous. Okay, I can go through the transcription. Now, obviously, the transcription doesn't give you things like intonation, and so, okay, it's still not crystal clear. Just click on the call recording and you're good to go. You're now listening to that call. And it's all, as my American colleagues like to say, in one pane of glass. So no rummaging around. It's replicated as well in the reporting engine in 3CX. So you've got the transcription, the summary, the sentiment analysis there as well, which you can export. So an incredibly powerful tool, piece of useless throwaway information. The maximum call length on 3CX is 3 hours, as predefined in the parameters. Ergo, the maximum transcription length is 3 hours. Okay, so it will transcribe up to 3 hours, but if you're on a 3-hour call and you get 3 hours, your call will drop anyway.
Yeah, and actually, I think it's a very valuable information, Paul. 3 hours, it's actually something, right? I'm not sure how it works on other solutions. Let's ask our partners if you already have experience on AI offering of other vendors. What do they offer? How long calls can they process? Yep. It's interesting. By the way, again, I'm advocate about our technology. I don't know how hard work our AI chief AI officer and his team, and I really like to know and to ask when I have chance to talk to them how they position our AI, yeah, among other solutions. And one of the key differentiators here again is our AI agent calls for free because it sits as a user in the PBX. Yeah, so unlike other solutions, you'll need to pay and for AI credits usage and as well for a call. Yeah, so in 3CX, there is no payment for this call. Yeah, it's an internal call, free user to user, call transfers for free. But now well, I hope this information was useful. If you have any input, dear partners, please send us in chat here your experience on how long calls can be processed by any other solution. Yep. On this slide, let's talk about one of the most interesting parts in our technology. As you know, 3CX can run on premise, not only in cloud, and our transcription engine as well can be installed on-prem, including really on-premise, yeah, and cloud, private cloud. And key information here, the installation time is about 15 minutes, and it can be quite cheaper than to run multi-year cloud AI subscriptions. Yeah, so if you order graphical processing units to rent, then probably it will be more expensive. Yeah, but again, here are different cases, and we do know depending on how large is the call volume which needs to be processed. Yeah, many organizations do appreciate they need to follow certain standards on privacy, and they prefer to run all software, all products on their own infrastructure. Yeah, their data should be somewhere else, leaving the organization. And here is our AI team offers state-of-the-art technology, NVIDIA RTX graphical processing units, and this hardware and specifications you see here provide strong AI performance without data center costs. Yep. Of course, here on this slide, you'll see typical deployment schema, and of course, the cost. Yeah, roughly $4,000 or $5,000. There can be less or more depending on capacity, yeah, and the project. And of course, it opens another opportunity for managed service providers as you are to offer on-premise solution, selling hardware, selling installation services, configuration, training. Yeah, so we hope that this will give you an opportunity again to add in your portfolio as another one offering, which could be popular among finance, legal, government sectors.
And oh, sorry,
yes,
Elena. And
no
one key takeaway, of course, is you can see the cost down there, approximately $4,000 or $5,000. Now, if you've got an organization that a large organization that need sort of a high volume of calls transcribed. Now, obviously, you can increase the spec, but it's on your network. It is secure. And of course, you've got the sort of CapEx, OpEx, however that is funded, but you've then got no transcription costs because everything is being done on-prem by your GPU. So yes, potentially there is a capital expenditure, but if positioned correctly, there is sort of short-term, medium, long-term, a very significant financial benefit.
Exactly that. And now there is a time for excellent demo by Paul Clark and Rebecca. The best way to see the features is by the demo, right? Where is magic happens. Well, before the webinar, technology of AI was working fine. Let's check that now.
Right, very quick run through of the agents for those of you that haven't seen them. Just to pick up on Elena's point about the boss secretary, here's my demo PBX. So if I click on myself, actually I'm in court all day today. That says a lot about me, doesn't it? You will see it says boss secretary on. I click on that, and I get the option to disable it. exactly the same functionality across the apps. I can turn it off from my app. So if for any reason I don't want sort of Luke Littler fielding my calls, I can disable him. So very, very easy to configure. Go in as administrator, integrations, and there you have your AI. So obviously, if you've never had a look at this before, the first thing you need to do is go and create your OpenAI account, get your API key, drop it in there, you are good to go, okay? All of this is customizable. You can change whatever you wish down here. I have my API key. I'm now in a position where I can start configuring my agents. So, because everything in 3CX is built for simplicity, built for ease, admin and user level. So you can assign your AI agent, be it a receptionist, be it a personal assistant, to a department, to multiple departments. Give it a first name, give it a last name, give it a DDI. You can customize the voice style. Again, it was raised in one of the forum posts because they do sound slightly American, and there is a methodology for changing it to a more sort of British accent. So it's doable, okay? And I'd like to think that Luke Littler does sound about as British as he can get. Maximum call duration, obviously you're using OpenAI. This is being paid for by somebody, so you can adjust that and bring it down to a sensible amount of time. And if you give the agent a name, it will create a talk link, as it would do with any user on the PBX, which you can then publish. And I will go back to what Elena was saying earlier, get in touch with Rebecca. Rebecca can field your inquiries onto us, or get in touch with us directly if you've got our contact details. We will send you the details for our agents. You can have a play. If you're multilingual, have a chat with them in multiple languages, and then come back to us and let us know how you got on. But yes, so there's a link there, and it will tell you, and you can sort of present that on your website and have basically a chat as well. So actually, a very important point, knowledge sources. So if I go to the knowledge sources, I can now start uploading documentation to my agent about specific aspects of either the agent's role or the organization. So upload the documents there. I think from memory, there is a limitation of 15 documents, but they can be in multiple formats. There are some things you can't search, you can't put web links in there yet, but who knows, update 9, we may see that change. So record calls, it's as if you are creating a user on the PBX. Okay, so record all calls, record external calls only. I don't want to record internal calls. And then agent instructions. As I mentioned, there is a prompt built in there natively, but you can go in there and customize that. So you can make this agent very, very specific for either its role or for the organization per se. So if you've got a receptionist, you can go in there, change the wording, and it is now a receptionist specifically for your organization, talking perhaps with sort of certain syntax that your organization would use. We've mentioned spam protection. So enable spam protection and then put whatever your customer considers to be spam. Now, if any of this is mentioned during the call, the agent is smart enough to realize that and will do whatever you tell it to do. So if somebody comes in looking for logging details, just end the call. I'm sorry, not interested, bye-bye. Or you can send a screening message to somebody in the organization so that they are aware that this call has been terminated, just in case it's been done erroneously, and then disconnect the call. So Paul Clark will now get a message to say, right, this call has been blocked for spam, and this is the reason. Okay, fine. Well, actually, it was my brother messing about, so I'm going to ring him back and apologize. Call routing. Add an extension. So again, very, very simple. And if you've got, for example, a personal assistant, you can include other agents or other individuals. So you could, theoretically, have a personal assistant and then a fallback personal assistant. Your personal assistant may be AI, but you may say, okay, fine. I will include as a fallback a human being. Call screening and check busy before transfer, as Elena has said. A call comes into my personal assistant. The first thing, assuming you pass all the criteria and the safeguards, it will check to see if I'm available. Now, if I am, for whatever reason, unavailable, it will then give the caller the option to either leave a message or to be transferred to the voicemail. And if they take the former rather than the latter, what will happen is a pop-up will appear on my screen with all of the salient details, and I will get a chat alert as well. So there's little chance of me missing it. Okay, so there's an instant pop-up to say that here's a message for you, Paul, and in the chat window there's a little 1, 2, 3, however many messages there are. So one of the features that I actually like is it gives you their tone. So it actually tells you whether they are calm, angry. So you get a chat message pop up to say this person has left a message. You will see that in the chat message. By the same token, if it's passing the call through, it will pass the call through with all of the salient details. So it will have the name, the number, the reason for the call, and their tone. Okay, so that information is readily available to you even before you answer the call. You know exactly who it is, you know exactly why they're calling. And then if a caller is abusive or frustrated, what do I want to do? Well, you've got the same options. I can either terminate the call, or I can terminate the call and notify an individual that that call has been terminated. And likewise, where if a caller does not respond or is not collaborative, so if you've got your AI agent asking for your name, the reason they are calling, and they're not forthcoming with any information, fine, just end the call or end the call and send somebody a message. So that is a whistle-stop tour of the AI agents. Now, regardless of whether it's a receptionist or an AI PA, it's exactly the same, okay? So once you've configured your agent, the tabs across the top are identical. Any questions at that point? Call transcription. Now, this is what you would get if you haven't already seen it in your email. And as I said, this is a real call that took place yesterday between Rebecca and myself at 15:30. Lasted 10 minutes 34. There is a summary of the call. There is a sentiment analysis. That was probably propped up by Rebecca being very accommodating, rather, because, as I say, normally I'm at ones and twos, so that has to be somebody else's work, not mine. Then it gives you an assessment of the languages, and as you can see, we're 99.979891 English. Okay, so I suppose that's a blessing, seeing as it's my first language and pretty much only language.
I should have tried to throw some Welsh in there or something. See what would happen.
Oh no,
that was on Alpha.
I would have gone into a cold sweat then. I can assure you, because in the early days of our in the early days of our transcription, they were coming through in Welsh, and I'd have panicked. So, and as you can see, talking about diarised conversation, this is the IVR for Infinitel, but it actually tells you down the side how long the call has been going on, which makes, again, dispute resolution very easy, because had Rebecca and I fallen out over something and Rebecca had complained to my boss about me, Rebecca could have said, well, about 6 minutes in, he started to get arsey and started shouting at me. My boss doesn't have to go through this. She just scrolls down to sort of approximately 5-6 minutes and then reads it. Not that that would be necessary, because it would be in here anyway. So you can now take all of this information and dump it straight into your CRM, ERP. There are some partners that have integrated certain aspects of this into ticketing systems. So they don't even need a human being now, because a caller will call in, gets picked up by either the AI agent, AI receptionist. It will take the details and, through some wonders of smoke and mirrors, drop that straight into the ticketing system. And then the ticketing system obviously will send a ticket to the caller, and a ticket is created. So an inordinate number of applications for the AI now, and update 9 is going to be an update heavily focusing around AI. In fact, I'm led to believe that it is only going to be around the AI side of things. We will see a very similar methodology. We're going to have agents, so we're going to have support agents and sales agents as well. So now is the time, if you're not already doing so, to start talking to your customers about AI.
Thanks very much, guys. So I just wanted to see, we've got a couple of minutes left. Has anyone got any questions that we could go through?
We sent as well some links on the video on our YouTube channel, 3CX YouTube channel, with more demo, more information, deep dive into our AI agents, an opportunity to ask your questions as well. On our website, 3cx.com, there is an AI dedicated forum. Please feel free to participate, ask your questions, and see what other partners around the globe discussing.
Oh, and as an aside to that, if you go onto our search engine now, it's actually AI powered. So if anybody ever comes to me with technical questions, the first thing I do is ask AI, and I just type the question in, and 99 times out of 100, you send it to them and they go, thanks very much, Paul, fix the problem, which is making a rod for my own back, because it makes me sound brighter than I actually am.
Thanks very much. So we've not had any questions pop up in the chat, so I think we will leave it there. But thanks very much, Paul and Elena, for coming on. Oh, sorry, we have had a question from Liam very quickly.
Oh.
So Liam asks, is the AI agent smart enough to pick up on the previous call history, who the call got routed to, previous call context, etc.?
Not yet. Currently, this is related to security. Our technology works with API keys from OpenAI, so the call must be secured. Currently, AI agent has no memory. It could be addressed by ingesting knowledge base, which you would like the agent will know too, but not the call history. Well, it's just dangerous at this time to share all information with AI, isn't it? So you will define what the agent will remember. But yeah, if you call, the call was dropped for some reason, and you call once again, the AI agent won't remember your name, your address, or anything else. It's just related to security. Yeah.
Lovely. Thanks for answering that one. So unless we have any more questions, if anyone would like to pop another question in the chat, feel free to do so very quickly.
I'm interested to know among our partners, what partner level you are. Are you silver level, bronze, or maybe not a partner yet? Just send in chat your partner level if you're already 3CX partner. Excellent. For partners of silver level and above, we upgraded NFR key, primary NFR, to Enterprise Plus edition. So now you have 60,000 minutes credits of 3CX call transcription, which could be used for demonstrations for your customers of all AI features we have currently, and anything we will release soon as alpha on update 9. So feel free to upgrade it to update 8 and test out all the features available.
Actually, before we call it a day, that's a very, very valid point. I'm glad you brought it up, Elena. You will notice that our licensing has been expanded, and we've now got the Enterprise and the Enterprise Plus. And the only difference between the two is with the Enterprise Plus, 3CX are doing the transcription. So you are getting what you see or what you saw on the screen as the diarization, sentiment analysis, which is not readily available with the likes of the other transcription engines, sort of OpenAI, Google. So have a look at your NFR keys. If they're Enterprise Plus, you can have a play with the 3CX transcription, demo it to your customers. And it's tiered up to 32 simultaneous calls. So 8, 16, 24, 32, obviously, starting at 30,000 minutes for an 8SC. So we will give you 30,000 minutes of transcribed calls. And then it goes up in 30,000 increments to 120,000. Realistically, you get to a customer who's bigger than a 32 and wants to call transcription, is using more than 120,000 minutes. Obviously, you are going to need to either look to moving them to a 48SC or larger, and moving their transcription onto one of the other two transcription engines in the PDX, or we go back to the sort of on-prem GPU. It may be more viable for them financially to look at putting their own GPU in.
Perfect. Thanks so much for that. Well, thanks everyone for joining us on the call today. Really appreciate your time. If there is anything that comes up at the end of this call, any questions, comments, you want any help with getting an NFR, anything like that, just feel free to either email myself, or Elena did put both hers and Paul's contact details in the chat as well. So feel free to do that. If you've not already added all of us on LinkedIn, obviously feel free to do that as well. I'm sure we're all available on there. As I mentioned, I'm always free if you want to just ring through and call to me and have a chat. Thanks, everyone. Have a fabulous day. Thanks very much.
Thank you for invitation, Rebecca.
Hey, yeah, thank you for inviting us, Rebecca. Thanks, guys, for attending. Take care. Have a great day.